All right, hey, welcome into Blake's Big Board, the top 10 teams pre-spring training. I guess spring training already started, but we're doing the top 10 teams power rankings as pitchers and catchers report. We'll do one after spring training before the season and so on and so forth. So here we go, the top 10 teams. Again, we're doing this on the tier ranking list, so still can't get the advertisements off the bottom. So enjoy this video sponsored by VRBO and the LA Olympics here. Coming in at number 10 here, a team that I think really swept under the radar right now, and it's the Detroit Tigers. And let me tell you why. At one point last year, the Detroit Tigers were World Series contenders, borderline World Series favorites, one of the best teams in baseball. Scooble dramas behind them. They get Framber Valdez. They were one win away from the AL Championship Series. I'm going to start the Tigers at 10. They're really in that 10 to 15 range. You can kind of swap that team out with maybe the Braves, the Phillies, even the Padres. I'm sticking with the Tigers, though, to start. Number 9, hate to do it, but they deserve the respect. The Milwaukee Brewers come in at number 9, 97 wins last year, one of the best organizations in baseball. They trade away Freddie Peralta. They trade away Caleb Durbin. It never seems to matter for them. It never seems to actually show up when the games start. I'll give them the respect and start them at number 9. Number 8, Boston. Boston's had one of the weirdest off seasons this year, at least in my opinion, because you go out and you trade for Sonny Gray, you trade for Wilson Contreras, you sign Ranger Suarez, but then you look at the offensive side of the ball and you lose out on Alex Bregman, you lose out on Pete Alonso, you don't trade for Brendan Donovan, you don't trade for Ketel Marte, and you're really only left with Caleb Durbin, who, although I think's a decent player, he doesn't move the needle like I think those other guys do. So I put them at 8. I think they have a really good starting rotation, maybe the best in the American League. However, that offense has too many question marks for me. Number 7, division rival. I could have flopped 8 and 7 back. I did go back and forth, but I think the Orioles, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt to at least start. Pete Alonso, Ryan Helsley, young lineup. Really young lineup. They just lost Jackson Holliday to a hamate bone. Will he be back for opening day? Remains to be seen. Really young lineup. A lot of question marks around it. I could see them repeating the season they had last year. I'm going to start them at least here at number 7 to start the year. Although I could see them skyrocket all the way down here to 1, 2, or 3, or fall way out of the top 10. But for now, I think they're at least a top team, given what they did this offseason. Number 6, the Mets. It's about the Mets at number 6. I could get a little flack for this. I could get in some debate trouble with this. I think they had a massive offseason. I think Bo Bichette, good signing from an offensive perspective. I think they still obviously had all the pieces in play there with Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, who's now injured. You look at some of the other pieces around. They trade for Luis Robert Jr., who, although I'm not a huge fan of at this point in his career due to injury concerns, I still think that's worth mentioning. They trade for Marcus Semien. The Mets are going to be a good team this year. I would be very shocked if they didn't make the playoffs. But they only won 83 games last year, and I thought they had a really good team last year. I look at their starting rotation. I still have some question marks around it. I like Freddie Peralta. I think he's a good ace tier level pitcher, although I put him at the bottom of the ace tier just because he's not on the same level as, like Skeens, Yoshi, Crochet. Could even throw in like Max Fried in that conversation, Garrett Cole. I don't think Freddie's in that ballpark or in that tier. So I put the Mets at 6. And also, too, I think Francisco Lindor's hamate injury doesn't affect him too much, but still worth mentioning because it affects your power. It affects, your swing speed, how good of swings you're putting on the ball. So his offense could really struggle to start the season. I think they're going to need that at some point to be competitive. Number 5, we're staying in New York. We're going with the Yankees. I don't like what the Yankees did this offseason. I don't think they added enough. But they won 94 games last year. They're still a good ball club. You're getting Garrett Cole back. You still have Aaron Judge, who If it wasn't for Shohei Ohtani, he's the best player on the planet, one of at least the best hitters we've seen, power hitters. Cody Bellinger comes back. We'll see how this team eventually shakes out. I think right now I'm at least giving them one of the top teams in the American League. That's why I have them at number 5. Number 4, I'm going to let my bias show a little bit here. The Cubs, I think 6, 5, and 4 could really be shuffled anyway, depending on your preference. I'm a little biased, so I'm going to put the Cubs at 4. Just everything I've seen in camp. I love that Alex Bregman's bringing this another level of leadership to this team, another level of preparation. I think they have great starting pitching depth. I like what they've done in the bullpen. Edward Cabrera trade was obviously huge. Where do some of the question marks come in with this team? Question marks around PCA. Can he take the next step? Questions around Michael Busch. Can he consistently go out there every single day against a left-handed pitcher? There's some offensive concerns, not as much as I would say like with the Red Sox. But here we are, Cubs at 4. I like that to at least start. Number 3, Toronto Blue Jays. So close to World Series champions, man. If you weren't rooting for the Blue Jays, then you have to live in Los Angeles. That's the only way. Heart goes out to them. A heartbreaking loss, but I'll give this to them. Foot stayed on the gas. Dylan Cease, Akamoto. I think they have one of the best starting rotations in baseball. Dylan Cease, Gosman, Yesovich, Shane Bieber opted in on the cheap for him. So they're going to still have some pieces. Vlad Guerrero, obviously, pretty good baseball player. I think the Blue Jays are going to be good. I have them winning the AL East yet again. We'll see where it shakes out. But for now, Jays at 3. Number 2, the team that they beat in the American League Championship Series last year, the Seattle Mariners. Again, great rotation, a lot of good pieces. Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, Randy, and not to mention, too, I think them trading for Brendan Donovan was one of the better trades of the offseason that I just don't think is going to get talked about enough before spring training. But when the season starts, you'll kind of see what game he plays all over the diamond. Really good baseball player. I'm a big fan of Brendan Donovan's game. I think that was huge for them. They bring back Josh Naylor. Mariners are going to be good. They start at 2. And then number 1, to no one's surprise, the Los Angeles Dodgers, Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz, back-to-back champs. They could be the reason that we'd have no baseball in 2027. Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. I will say this because I've been very vocal about the Dodgers on and off YouTube and on and off different channels. They're still beatable. Their roster is getting older in a lot of ways, although they're still backfilling it with young talent. They have one of the best farms in baseball, don't get me wrong. But they were 3 outs away from losing the World Series and being on the ropes to the team that I have there at number 3, the Toronto Blue Jays. And it took the most unlikely heroes in that lineup to win that World Series. Miguel Rojas, Andy Pajes with a huge catch, Will Smith go-ahead home run. So I sit here today, Dodgers are obviously at 1, but I don't take the stance that they're this unbeatable super team like they've showed the last 2 seasons. They're going to have their faults at some point. They're going to go through injuries like everyone has or everyone does. Dodgers start at 1. So let me know what I got wrong. Let me know what I got right. We're going to be updating this every week throughout the course of the season. So we have 10, the Tigers, 9, the Brewers, 8, the Red Sox, 7, Orioles, 6, Mets, 5, Yankees, 4, Cubs, 3, Jays, 2, Mariners, 1, Dodgers. And that is the first edition of Blake's Big Board, the top 10 teams in baseball, according to Blake. Take it easy. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.